the eclipse is coming,
Mm-hmm.
so we had to bring our resident astrologer, also known as Mequi Astral, and our
Mequi
little
Astral.
cousin,
Qué astral.
Mequi, aka Kakaya, aka Maria Clara, because Maria Clara is the person that, I have no idea what Mercury in retrograde or microwave,
Or
all that.
Venus over
Mercury
Pluto.
Mercury in the microwave.
But Maria Clara will break it down so that I understand. And
Okay,
I
yes.
don't know why this year my mom randomly got me mi carta astral because a friend of hers was like, aquí le tengo la carta astral a tu hija, now that she's going through
Yeah.
a divorce, and I did nothing with it. And then Maria Clara me vino a visitar a Miami, ella vive en Nueva York, and she's like, oh my God, qué chévere, me explicó todo. I'm like, oh my
It was
God.
amazing. I know. It was meant to be.
I
It was
know,
Was
but
meant the
meant
stars
to be.
aligned.
I still don't know much how to read it ni nada. So cada vez que viene algo, I voice no me declara, ay, help me. And
What's
I
going
remember
on?
her telling me que los eclipses son importantes. And now que viene un eclipse, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, Maria Clara, we need to talk. Like, we need to make this happen.
So the astrological event, the most important one, it's eclipses. What happens
Okay.
is que with astrology, there's something que existe que es el libre albedrío or like free will, right?
Free
You can
will.
do
Okay.
what you want with your life, really. It's everything, it's energies, and you can have an amazing energy, but if you don't do anything about it, then nothing's gonna really happen. Porque you decide what you're gonna do with the energy of Jupiter or Venus or blah blah blah, transiting wherever it is in your chart. Pero with eclipses are karmic events that align you with your bigger purpose. So no matter
Oh.
what you do, you can literally stay in your house. Que what's meant for you te va a pasar. There's a frase
Oof.
that says, si es para ti, ni que te quites, y si no es para ti, ni que te pongas. You know, like what's
Okay.
gonna
Yeah.
happen, it's gonna happen. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it. Los eclipses change signs, so they're always in an axis. Right now it's Aries and Libra, and they always change. We're coming from eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus. They last for a year and a half. And you have a lot of placements in Scorpio, and that's why I was telling you, like, oh, like, damn, you've been going through it because you have your moon in Scorpio, and you have your lunar
Jodida.
nodes. Sí, o sea, pero ya eso pasó, ya we
Yeah.
survived.
It's been the last 4 years. I'm like, ah!
We
You are.
survived. And
The
Oh, wait,
eclipse
wait, wait.
is
pierna.
done.
Before we deep dive into all these things, porque, you know, it's a lot of information, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how much everybody is in the same page of what a
Astrology.
horoscope or astrology is. So let's start with like my basics. Primero que nada,
Uh-huh.
we first need to get it out of the way. What is everybody obsessed with this week?
Oh.
Okay.
Tia.
Um.
So
So my new like obsession right now. You're gonna hate me for it,
Oh
porque
my
tú
God.
siempre dices que,
I'm
que yo
not
I'm
ready for
siempre.
nervous.
this.
No, it's something I've been using for so long. But somebody came to me and said that I was looking younger, and I was like, okay, well, thank you, I appreciate it. She's like, from the other picture. So I started using this colágeno que se toma. I wish I had it with me, but I'm
Okay.
traveling.
Is it
Pero es,
powder?
no, it's liquid. Y se llama
Okay.
Liquid Biocell by Modere. And like, or Modere, or like, it spelled like Modere or something. Pero this dermatologist that I'm also obsessed with, she takes it. And so I've been taking it for a while, and I was like, like when you take something and you see yourself in the mirror every day, realize que ha hecho algún cambio. Pero when this lady said that, I was like, oh, I love this. Thank you for noticing it. Like, I appreciate, like, my hair feels better, my everything feels better. So, obsessed. Liquid
Oh,
Biocell by Modere. Es un colágeno líquido, and you're supposed to take colágeno líquido, not in powder form, but
Okay.
liquid
I'm gonna look
collagen.
for it. I'm into
Yes,
that.
Okay,
obsessed.
I'm gonna get it too. I'm obsessed with everything beauty.
Sí, pero
Yes.
ese, you're gonna love it. And the dermatologist I'm obsessed with, Dr. Siamco, uses it as her, like, holy grails. And so,
Yo amo a ella. Very true.
yes.
Okay, Maria Clara, what are you obsessed with this week?
Bueno, I'm also obsessed with something about beauty. Como I'm in the beauty industry, right? I'm into astrology, but that's my side
Yay.
thing. I'm in the beauty industry. I have like every cream, every serum, every anything. You name, I have it. It's it. I get it for free. So I put
Además.
everything in my face. But lately, I've been like noticing that I'm getting like wrinkles. Like, I mean, not wrinkles, pero como expression lines that I didn't have como
Sí,
aquí
aquí.
and like in my forehead. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, of course, I'm in my early 30s now. So I'm starting to, like, since last year, I have gray hairs. I'm like, what's happening? Anyways, I start Googling and like researching. And then, of course, Instagram does its magic, and I started getting served this ad about something that's called frownies. It's a
Oh my
sticker.
Oh, los stickers.
You
Yes.
God, it
guys,
worked.
I'm not joking. O sea,
Pero
it's
do you sleep with them?
yes. O sea, I sleep with them at least like the first like it's better than Botox. I mean Botox is Botox. But okay, I don't want to use Botox yet. I feel like no say, maybe my 40s. Not right now. Like I feel like I
Not
want to
yet.
do like a natural thing.
You
Yeah.
know that my dermatologist, shout out to Dr. Annie Gonzalez, she's the best. I started getting Botox when I was in my 20s. And she says that that's the time where you do it because at 40,
Prevent.
you don't need Botox, you need fillers. But
Because it's
I've been
preventative.
wanting to get into frownies. So knowing that porque a mí también me salen, hubo un tiempo que me salía mucho
It's
eso.
amazing.
And now
Porque
that I know somebody that uses them, I'm buying them
yeah,
tonight.
because also what it's doing is preventing que se te marquen las líneas. Because that's what
Good.
Botox does when you do it
Yeah.
like younger, like in your late 20s or
Yeah.
like early mid 30s. But what Botox is really doing is like preventing que in your 40s and
So
your
there's
50s tengas la
creases.
línea.
Right, the
Exacto.
creases.
So
Yeah.
basically that's what Frownies does, and the silicone patches. So I just like mix it up and like I do both. And
I
like I
feel like I
sleep, but
need
I
some on
sleep
my
with them.
chest. I feel like in
It's
my early
there's
40s,
also
on my neck. Yes. ¿Qué es eso?
there's
Like,
also
what?
for your neck, and then you put it like in the donde se te empiecen a marcar las líneas. Lo que pasa es que it's
Yes.
more uncomfortable because it's still like a sticker, so I don't know how that would be. But there's also silicone patches that are more comfortable for sleeping for your neck.
For my neck or for
I'm
my
super
chest?
into this.
Dermaclara, it's
I'm buying this for sure.
yeah, Dermaclara, it's the silicone patches, and Frownies,
Dermacare
it's the stickers, and it's super
stickers.
affordable compared to Botox. Super affordable.
Yes.
The thing that I'm obsessed with has
Obsessed with.
nothing to do with beauty at all.
Guess
Literal.
what?
Like I am on another side of the spectrum. Like I am like over there. I'm obsessed with two things. I'm
Uh-huh.
obsessed with my new pressure washer. I figured it out. I cannot
Eso.
believe that this person that has never done anything like
I know.
house handy in the world. Like I'm really crafty and I am a big DIYer for like crafty things. Como que with a cricket and with like decorating and with
Yeah.
like hosting and
Planning
things like
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
I've never done like cosas que sean como que física, and I did this and I accomplished it and I am obsessed, and that machine is so like
What's that machine for? What does it washes?
It's a pressure washer.
anything. You're not an adult. It's a
For
pressure
Bueno,
washer.
like
yeah, I live in a studio
windows.
apartment in the 48th floor, so
No, mija, you're not
Exactly.
gonna
You're
pressure
never
wash
gonna use this.
anything.
Pero la gente vieja que vive in the suburbs, we
In
use
the
it, and I'm
suburbs, we have to
obsessed
use
with it.
pressure
not
washer.
me.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed, like
Yeah.
literalmente obsessed with
Oh,
it.
I saw it in your stories. I think it's like a pressure, como una manguera así with pressure, and you just like,
Ah,
okay, ya sé cuál es.
exactamente.
Y
And
para el
then,
sidewalk tiene un attachment, and so you go back and forth, and it
aha,
really. So.
viste, it's the best thing
One
ever.
day.
And then the second thing that I'm obsessed with,
Oh,
and don't come at me, but I'm a Bravo fan, but I am really enjoying The Valley.
I am not. These
I
people
have
have
not watched
kids.
that.
These people have kids.
I
Kids.
know.
Kids.
What is that, a reality show? I'm not a Bravo
Sí.
fan. I've never even watched The Housewives.
How are you a cousin?
Didn't hear that.
I've never watched The Housewives. No
I
sé,
am
como que ni
hardcore
eso,
judging
ni
you,
The
Maria Clara.
Bachelor, ni The Bachelorette, ni The Bachelor, ni The Bachelorette, ni The
No,
Housewives.
el
Nunca.
Bachelor y el
No,
Bachelorette
I'm not into the
tampoco.
Bachelor,
Okay,
Bachelorette
porque people are
tampoco.
so into those things, y en el
I
trabajo
know.
everyone talks about it. I'm like, I don't know. I've never watched it.
Do you
You are
watch
that.
Love is
You are the
Blind?
Love is
Obvio, Love
Blind.
is Blind, sí,
I
every
love is
season.
blind.
Okay.
Obvio, Love is Blind, sí, pero como que no sé. The
Bueno,
Housewives never.
you should watch esta temporada de Vanderpump Rules or last temporada de
Bueno,
Vanderpump Rules porque
I've never watched it, but I heard a lot about the drama que la mejor amiga le quitó el novio a la
sí,
amiga y la vaina.
yes. Pero there's a girl there que she is into astrology
Y
too.
es igualita a
And
ti.
igualita a ti.
Mentira, es verdad, me va a ver.
Literal. Today I was on the plane and I downloaded Vanderpump Rules to watch it on the plane. Y le digo a Lina, I sent a text on the plane. Le digo, Lina, Ali es idéntica a María Clara. Like,
¿Verdad?
idéntica. Like, she
No.
gives me, like, the long hair, skinny, like, así.
Oh, I
O
love
sea,
the skinny, thank you.
But now let's talk about what we came here to talk about. Okay, astrology.
Ajá,
And okay,
101.
let's think about us as personas que no tienen nada
no
de
tiene
conocimiento
nada.
de nada. Because all I know before I started having conversations with you was that I was a Capricorn, and that was it. Pero there's like
So,
layers of
eso
what
es
you
lo más
are.
básico. That's the
Okay,
most
ajá.
basic part. So, todo el mundo tiene como un signo. Everybody's
Ajá.
like, what's your sign? Yo soy Sagitario, Pias Pisces, you're a Capricorn. That
Okay.
means todo el mundo que nació en cierta época, it's going to be a Pisces, it's going to be a Capricorn, right? Como que it's just like where the sun is, el momento que naciste. That's your sun
Okay.
sign, right? Aparte de eso, you have your rising sign. That's why you need that exact time that you were born. It's the place that the sun was rising in the horizon at the exact moment that you were born. So where was the sun? So if you're born around 6 a.m., your rising is gonna be the same sign as your sun sign because that's where the sun rises. And then it starts moving. Entonces, si naciste at 12 o'clock, vas a ser, dependiendo de tu signo, o sea, because you know your astrology chart,
Astrology
it's a
is,
wheel.
it's round, right?
it
Yeah.
starts it starts with like your rising and then it moves through all the 12 signs. So you technically
Yes.
have all the signs in your chart. No es como que yo no tengo Pisces, entonces si algo pasa en Pisces doesn't affect me. No, like I have Pisces in my chart. I'm not a
Oh,
Pisces, but that doesn't mean that I don't have Pisces in my chart, por ejemplo. Then you have your
Exactly.
rising. I'm a rising Aries. Pia's rising Aries as well. Elena rising. Do you remember what's your rising?
Sí, lo tengo aquí. I knew that you were gonna
Okay,
ask
we
me
saw
this.
Pia's yesterday.
Aquarius.
Aquarius. So Lina's rising Aquarius. So Lina probablemente nació en la mañana.
yeah,
Yes,
So,
she
I
did.
did. And
because
for
it's
for
Capricorn
people
and then
that don't know what the chart looks like, it looks like something like this.
You're gonna have to show
it's
it,
a
like,
wheel.
uh-huh.
So the wheel it's
Uh-huh.
gonna have the 12 signs, and then there's also 12 houses, and then there's all the planets and luminaries. The luminaries are the moon and the sun. So you have a sun sign, you have your rising sign, and you have your moon sign. Those are the big three. Those are como the signs that affect your personality the most. Your sun sign is your basic energy. It's the way you shine. It's your conciencia, tu presencia. Like it's your basic, most raw energy. No one has to teach you how to be that person. Como que I'm a Sagittarius. No one has to teach me how to be a Sagittarius. It's like natural for me, right? But then my rising sign, that's also part of my personality, but I came to this life to learn how to become my rising sign. So like I'm a
Oh,
rising Aries.
really?
So I come to this life to learn how to become an Aries. Porque ya yo sé cómo ser una Sagitario. But
Oh.
then my rising is like what you're gonna learn through your life to become. Right?
So
You're
I need to
learning that
learn to be an
energy.
Aquarius.
You have to
I
learn
am,
how to be an Aquarius. More
I'm not a fan of Aquarius. Aquarius are not my vibe.
Pero Huapi is an Aquarius.
Aquarius. She doesn't
I was just
understand that
about to
energy.
say, but I have an ex, a very close ex, a very close ex, que es Aquarius, and we were never meant to be. I mean, we probably came to this earth. We needed to have. Let me rephrase that. We had to have a moment in order for certain things to happen in my life, pero we were not meant to be. It was not in our cards.
So there's something in astrology that's called synastry. Es la sinastría. It's like when you put one person's chart with the other ones and you put it together and you see what points they como que interact with each other. So obviamente ciertas cosas como una Piscis y un Acuario, that both basic energy, right? You have a whole chart, you have a whole como que todos los planetas, right? Como que my Venus is in Aquarius, so I get super well with the Aquarius energy. I understand it perfectly, right? Pero yo no sé, de pronto tú tienes a Marte en Acuario, and you would understand that energy, especially if it's a man. Pero
Yeah.
básicamente, the most raw es que Pisces es un signo de agua. Entonces es
Yeah.
súper emocional, es súper
Yeah.
loving, es súper caring. Pisces necesita atención, Pisces necesita a
All the
physical
time.
touch, needs like words of affirmation, right? Como que Pisces is very emotional, feels every single feeling there is.
Yes.
Everything,
Intense. Everything.
everything, intensely, profundamente, to the core.
Too
While
much.
Acuario, it's complete opposite. Porque Acuario es un signo de aire. Los signos de aire tienden a ser signos muy racionales. So it's the
Yes.
complete opposite de un signo de agua. Es súper
Yes.
racional y they are gonna rationalize all the emotions. It's not
Yes.
that they don't feel them, they just feel them differently. Porque las van a racionalizar. Instead of feeling them, they
Yes.
rationalize them. So they need to understand the emotions that they're processing at the moment. Y
Oof.
Acuario especialmente, it's very detached. So Acuario tends
Yes.
to
Push
detach
back.
when they feel
Yes.
like people are too much. They're like, I need my space. I need my
Yes.
space. And Aquarius is
Yes.
the queen of space. Mientras que
Yes.
Pisces, dile tú a un Pisces, dije, I need space. O sea,
No.
la mataste.
Really big into space. So am I gonna be a more spacious
Pero
person?
pero you have you ya te está diciendo you have your rising sun or whatever en Acuario. You need
No.
space constantly.
You need to learn how to, como que de pronto you're not comfortable with it right now, porque lo que te dije, you're coming to learn la energía de tu ascendente, which is your
Okay.
rising sign. Y once you learn it, you te das cuenta que actually it like resuena más contigo than even your sun sign. You actually like even like once you start learning it, you're like, oh, this actually like
Sounds
actually
more
sounds more like
like
me. Como que
yeah.
lo entiendo.
Yeah.
So Acuario is what I was explaining, and then Aries, it's a fire sign. También súper
Yeah.
diferente. Aries es dramático, Aries es explosivo, Aries es la chispa del inicio. Entonces Aries se lanza de cabeza, no piensa mucho, it's like, me tiré, agarra, me tiré, así. O sea, that's Aries.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
haven't tapped too much into that. Pero,
And what about Capricorn? ¿Cómo somos los Capricorn signs?
Capricorn
pero un
it's an
earth
earth
sign.
sign. Entonces
Okay.
Okay.
Capricornio es súper grounded, súper
Yeah.
disciplinado, súper business oriented. A
Activo.
Capricornio tiende a ser una, o sea, es muy meticuloso y muy como it could have like earth signs can tend to have an agenda. Pero no, not in a bad way, como que simplemente
Right.
it's like you, like, it's like, okay, hay que hacer todo the right way, y es muy del deber ser, es como que Capricornio es el signo del deber ser, de la responsabilidad, de la madurez.
Yeah.
Entonces, lo que pasa es que every sign has its dark side and its good side. Y normalmente, a veces, when you have too much of that sign, you can repel that type of energy en cierta manera. Because, like, it also depends on your chart. Porque, por ejemplo, yo te puedo decir, tú tienes el sol en Capricornio, pero si tú tienes el sol en conjunción a otro planeta que le cambia la energía como Júpiter, que es todo lo contrario, then tú te puedes que yo te escribo Sagitario y tú me dices como, oh, I kind of like identify with that energy more, porque Sagitario rige, Júpiter rige Sagitario. So that's why you have an entire chart. That's like the raw energy of that. Our generation has Pluto in Scorpio. Porque Pluto está en un planeta, en un signo por mucho tiempo. Pia, I don't know if you, Pluto in Scorpio, entonces, por ejemplo, Lina y yo las dos tenemos a Pluto in Scorpio. So, if we have any placements in Scorpio, la gente alrededor de nuestra edad are gonna have any planet muy cerca a Plutón, en Scorpio. So, Scorpios, like, people has a lot of Scorpio placements that have, like, around our age. Maybe, like, creo que es como entre 26 y, like, 30 y largos are gonna have Pluto in Scorpio. Entonces, como que si tú tienes tu sol ahí cerca a Plutón, that's a big thing, right? Como que when you have a personal planet, like, so the personal planets son los planetas que están más cerca al Sol y a la Tierra, que son Mercurio, Marte y Venus.
Marte y Venus.
Y los dos luminarios, que es el Sol y la Luna. Después tú tienes the outer planets. Primero vienen Júpiter y Saturno, y después están los planetas que están más lejos aún,
Lejos.
que son súper
Neptuno,
generacionales.
Urano.
Neptuno,
Oh,
Urano y Plutón. Y esos son los planetas que se mueven más lento, entonces son generacionales. Como que
yeah.
many people are going to have Pluto in Scorpio. Pero when you have un planeta personal de los que están cerca a la Tierra, o el Sol o la Luna, cerca a un planeta grande como Neptuno, Urano, Plutón, that's like really big. Como que, and I think, Lina, si no estoy mal, you can check, you have your moon very close to Pluto. Ajá.
Question
I
for
don't know.
side note why you look, Lina. See, you talk about Pluto as a planet, pero Pluto technically now is not considered a planet. It's
So
considered a star.
The NASA
The NASA is not into astrology.
The NASA is on astrology. The NASA said that Pluto, it's not really a planet, it's a dwarf planet.
Dwarf planet.
Porque es muy
Pero
Okay.
now they're
chiquito,
saying
está
that
muy
it is
lejos.
a planet. Otra vez.
Pero
Technically, it's a
dwarf
planet.
planet.
No,
It's
they're
Yeah.
saying
orbiting
now
our
that it
sun.
is a planet. Se están
It's
Oh my
orbiting
cambiando
our
God.
de...
sun.
Yes.
NASA no puedo. Like, I cannot keep up con todo esto.
Okay.
Pero, por ejemplo, en astrología, tú
Ajá.
tienes no solo los planetas, en astrología se tienen en account también los asteroides, the other
Asteroides
dwarf
and
planets.
Oh my God,
the
Como,
I'm never gonna learn this, by the way. It's so much information. Pero, mira, I have my moon in Scorpion, my
ajá,
my Mars in Scorpion,
ajá,
my Pluto in Scorpion,
mhm,
and I don't know what this is. It's like a number.
a number,
Yes.
¿qué dice?
1X.
it's
No
unnamed.
veo.
1X.
No, no
algo
veo.
así.
One S
X.
y
Porque
C.
en los números romanos la X, ¿qué significa? 10.
10.
La X.
Ajá.
Yeah. No
Oh,
Es
la
la
50.
casa
9, la
10.
casilla
Sí, casa
9.
10. O la casa 9. Te está
Ajá, la
diciendo
casa
la casa
9.
que tienes en Escorpio.
Ajá.
Oh.
¿Eso qué
Entonces, eso es lo que te
significa?
decía. Si ves, tú tienes a la Luna y a Marte, los tienes dos planetas. O sea, la Luna no es un planeta, pero, then again, como de los que están cerca de la Tierra, que son los que
Ajá.
más
Luminares.
influencian las energías del día a día, en
Ajá.
Escorpio, cerca a Plutón, porque tienes a Plutón ahí. So, en nuestra generación, la gente que tiene planetas en Escorpio es gente que tiene una energía muy fuerte in their natal chart en general. Por eso fue que a ti te dio tan fuerte los eclipses en Escorpio.
Oiga, me estaban dando por la cabeza. Ya yo no podía
Obvio.
más con mi vida.
Yeah,
Like, ya.
I think also you have your lunar nodes en Escorpio y Tauro. Ahí
What
no
does
te sale
lunar
your
node
lunar node. Es
means?
como parece como una herradura. Like, el signo es como una
Lilith.
herradura.
Lilith.
No, Lilith es otra cosa. Pero tienes a Lilith en
Oh, no,
Escorpio.
pero my end node is in Taurus.
Your what?
End node.
Ajá, your north node.
Ajá.
It's in Taurus. That means that your
Ajá.
south node is in Scorpio. So Tauro,
Yeah.
todo signo has an opposite sign. So Aries, Libra, Tauro, Scorpio, Géminis, Sagitario, Cáncer, Capricornio, and then you go on like Virgo, Pisces, like, and you go Leo, Acuario. Todo signo tiene su opposite. Entonces, si tú tienes, o sea, todo lo que tú tengas en Tauro va a estar haciendo una oposición a todo lo que tengas en Scorpio. And that's how you read that, because it's a wheel. You know what I
That's
mean?
why tenía tanto conflicto with the eclipse. So,
Entonces,
Oh.
por eso es que los
No.
eclipses pasan, por eso te digo, los eclipses están pasando en Aries y Libra, porque those are
y entonces,
opposing signs.
so esta niña que está aquí is gonna go on a trip 3 hours north to Dallas para ver el eclipse. So,
O sea, lo que pasa es que lo que dicen es que cuando hay un eclipse total de sol, porque esto es un eclipse total de sol, lo que
yes, it's
significa es que
totality.
basically lo que significa un eclipse astronómicamente, not even just astrology wise, sino astronómicamente, es que el sol, la luna y la tierra se alinean los tres. Right? Every month se alinean la luna y el sol, porque hay new moons and full moons.
Full moon,
Pero
right.
hay un punto matemático, it's like como una fórmula that scientific people do or whatever, but when you do your natal chart, te la calcula automáticamente, que es el punto donde te dice, en este momento, cuál es el punto matemático exacto donde tiene que estar la luna o la Tierra, porque somos los que nos movemos, el Sol no se mueve, para que la alineación sea perfecta. Y esos son the
With
lunar nodes. Eso es lo que Lina vio que dijo, I have my north node in
no in
Tauro. When you
Tauro.
were born, the north node was in Taurus. Y Scorpio era tu
Mm,
south node. There's a north node and a south node. Siempre, como
okay.
uno opposite of the other one. Ahora mismo están en Aries y Libra. That's why the eclipses are happening there. Right now,
Oh.
entre más cerca, en astrología, cada signo tiene 30 grados. So that's how you know dónde las cosas están pasando. Este eclipse se va a dar en el grado 19 de Aries. Y el nodo está a 4 grados nada más en el grado 15. That means que está super close. That's why it's a total eclipse. Porque la luna y el sol van a estar súper cerca de ese grado matemático exacto de donde se alinea los tres, el sol, la luna y,
La Tierra.
y la tierra. That's what an
Wow.
eclipse means. So, cuando la Tierra es parte de esa alineación, la alineación es tan perfecta, es como que si tú lo vieras desde lejos, o sea, nos vamos para Plutón y lo vemos desde
Yeah,
lejos,
like
se ve
all three. Tu, tu,
exactamente
tu.
alineado, o sea, la línea perfecta, para
So why
que cuando la
should she
luna
not
pasa,
go
tapa el sol.
watch? Why
Porque
should she not go watch the eclipse?
Porque
sí,
es
porque
una
let's rewind,
energía
porque
tan
you said,
fuerte.
pero you said that regardless of whether or not I do whatever it is, it's still a karmic event. So I'm still gonna suffer whatever I'm
No
gonna
matter,
suffer,
sí, o
no
sea, you're
matter
still
where
gonna
I am.
suffer it. Lo que pasa es que lo que dicen es como que if you believe in astrology, las energías de los eclipses son tan fuertes que like, si puedes evitar verlo, it's better. Como que evítate
This
un
is
poquito.
science. This is science. This is science.
Como evítate un poquito.
Yo
Porque it's
siento,
very intense.
siento que science, yo siento que el día que Jesus died, there was a solar eclipse.
The eclipse
And
Ajá,
three
that's
in
how
days
we knew there
totality.
later,
was.
he came to
Yes.
save us. So
Y lo que
my
pasa es que
theory is that after 3 days, life is gonna be so much better. I have a feeling because I cannot
I
take my head
mean,
por mi
son
cabeza.
positivas. Lo que pasa es que
listen.
cada
Like
eclipse,
Jesus.
it's a strong, también depende de las alineaciones del momento. No solamente el eclipse, los otros planetas are doing their own thing as well. So, en el momento del eclipse, como tú analizas la carta del eclipse, lo que va a
Okay.
pasar es viendo los otros planetas que están haciendo. Entonces, tú
Okay.
empiezas por los regentes. Cada signo tiene un planeta que los rige. Entonces,
Okay.
cuando tú quieres analizar exactamente qué otras energías va a traer el
La
eclipse,
comida.
aparte de la alineación de la luna, el sol y la tierra, es que tú ves Aries. ¿Qué planeta rige Aries? Marte. Entonces tú te vas a Marte y tú dices, ¿Marte qué está haciendo ahora mismo? Marte está en Pisces. Y Saturno está en Pisces también. Y they're gonna be in a conjunction. O sea, van a estar alineados el uno al lado
So
del
this
otro.
is a very important eclipse para los Pisces with
Pisces
a
y los
rising
Aries.
Aries.
Todo Piscis y todo Aries lo va a sentir full, porque no
So,
solo está Saturno en Piscis, Saturno es un planeta también que se mueve mucho más lento, entonces Saturno va a durar en Piscis como 2 años y medio,
y en
¿Dónde
mi
entró el
está
año
casa,
pasado,
Saturno?
y en mi casa,
y ahí está Neptuno también, entonces Neptuno
y
y
en mi,
Saturno están los dos en Piscis. Y
y en
en
mi casa,
Piscis
we're
está Marte
two.
y Venus al tiempo, está Marte y Venus va a estar entrando en Aries al momento del eclipse, pero Venus va a haber acabado de pasar por Neptuno. Entonces,
Oh my God.
y Venus rige Libra, que es el signo opuesto al signo donde están pasando los eclipses, que siempre es la misma, o sea, siempre, por mucho que el eclipse sea en Aries, tiene que ver con Libra, siempre, porque el nodo norte ahora mismo está en Libra, y el nodo sur está ahora mismo en Libra, y el nodo norte está en Aries.
Oh my God.
Entonces,
En mi casa,
ah,
let me tell you, en mi casa son, we're Pisces, Aries, Libra,
imagínate.
Leo, Leo, y Sagitario.
Bueno, ya
So it's like we are like a full spectrum of
y
emotions.
ahora mismo los signos o como que the placements que van a estar full afectados, todos los afecta el eclipse de manera
Right.
diferente, dependiendo en qué carta en qué casa de tu carta cae. Tú eres Aries
Yeah.
ascendente, yo soy Aries ascendente, entonces nos cae en our first house.
Okay.
Y Libra es nuestro descendente. So, tu ascendente es el yo y el descendente es el otro. So, el ascendente es like you, who you are, your personality, tu hasta la parte física. Y el
Right.
descendente es la otra persona, your mirror, o como tu par. Entonces, por eso es el axis de las relaciones, porque es la relación contigo y la relación con otros. Entonces, por eso tiene que ver
Mm.
con, por eso mucha gente, van a ver mucha gente que se divorcia, gente que se casa, gente que get proposed, gente that breaks up, como que, porque las cosas que
During an
pasan en abril
eclipse.
es así.
Bueno, yo no me puedo divorciar porque I'm in love with my husband. Yo no me puedo
Por él,
divorciar.
pero tu par no necesariamente es solo tu esposo, tu par puede
Sí,
ser un
no, puede ser mi
socio.
socio.
Puede ser un
Sí,
socio de trabajo, puede, o sea, si me entiendes, puede ser, no
yeah.
necesariamente tiene que ser romántico, porque la casa
Sí.
7 no es
Em,
una casa romántica, la casa 7 que es el descendente, no es una casa de romance.
So, so no tiene
Ahí
que.
se ve el esposo porque tú con tu esposo firmaste un contrato. Entonces, la
Mm,
casa 7 es la casa la firmada del contrato. Ese es tu
trato.
descendente. Entonces, por eso a veces es la relación con tu esposo o un divorcio porque estás firmando otro contrato. Pero no es
No
una casa de
firmes nada,
romance.
Lina.
Oh my God, am I finally gonna get divorced?
Yo te, yo te dije que tú vas a tener eclipses soon porque tú eres ascendente Acuario.
Ajá,
Los próximos eclipses son Piscis y Virgo y después
ajá,
viene Leo Acuario. Y Leo
ajá.
Acuario es tu casa 1, casa 7, entonces ahí de
Sí.
pronto ya puede ser your divorce is final. Pero también yo te dije, la casa 9 tiene también mucho que ver con contratos, con cosas legales y con segundos matrimonios. ¿Te acuerdas que yo te lo dije?
Ajá.
And your ninth house, no, ya no me acuerdo, no sé si
Escorpio,
es Escorpio o algo así.
Escorpio, Escorpio.
Ajá. Entonces,
So it's still
that's,
gonna be long.
so that's what you, así es como uno va viendo las cosas. También, the other big thing que está pasando en abril, aparte de los eclipses, pues además está Mercury retrograde, pero people like are
What
so
does
afraid of
that
Mercury
mean?
retrograde.
What
People
does
are
that
very
mean?
afraid of Mercury retrograde, pero Mercurio es este planeta chiquito que anda toda, que va a 1000, y Mercurio retrograda almost 3 times a year. So
Okay,
this is not something rare, right?
New or
No es
rare.
something
Okay.
rare like a full, like como un eclipse total, right?
okay,
Okay.
Lo que pasa es que está en Aries y Mercury retrograde is going to be part de las alineaciones
My
que les estoy
mom just said that
hablando.
she sent me. My mom just said that she sent me my carta astral.
oh, because I told her that we were doing this.
And my
Bueno,
stupid iPad won't
Okay, pero
connect to the
espérate, look at
Wi-Fi.
what María Clara termina de explicar. Okay, so
Ajá,
Mercury in
ajá.
retrograde, what does it mean, and should I be
Mercurio,
afraid of it?
Lo que pasa es que Mercurio es el planeta más cercano al Sol. And
Okay,
it's super close to us. It moves
okay,
really fast and we feel it a lot in our day to day. Es una
okay,
energía that you feel a lot in your day to day. So
okay,
that's why Mercurio hace muchas cosas um, constantly. So Mercurio retrograda 3 times a year, right? Como que it's
okay,
not something new. Lo que pasa es que Mercurio rige las comunicaciones, right? Mercury or Hermes, era el mensajero de los dioses. So it was this little como que cosita con alas, como un muñequito con alas that was
yes,
Ah,
transporting
sí,
by
como
one of the gods.
Hercules.
él sale en Hercules.
Sale en Hercules. A ver,
Ajá,
eso
ese
pasa
es
usted.
Mercurio o Hermes, que le llaman en la mitología. Uno es la mitología griega y la otra es romana, pero it's the same thing.
Ajá.
Es el mensajero de los dioses y eso es Mercurio. So, every time Mercury goes retrograde, por eso es que a veces pasan cosas con comunicación, como que WhatsApp it's down, como que regresa, y también es como que when a planet is retrograde, you're como re-evaluating many things. Entonces, por eso a veces te digo como que you can change your mind, you can make a decision now, but while Mercury is retrograde, but then you can change your mind after, después de que termina y cosas así. Pero this Mercury retrograde, it's more important porque it's in Aries and it's
Okay,
part of the eclipse. So it's
what does
part
that
of the
mean?
energy of that eclipse. Lo que yo les
Okay,
estaba explicando, that every eclipse has lo que les dije, lo que está haciendo Marte influye en el eclipse, lo que está haciendo Venus influye en el eclipse, y lo que está haciendo Mercurio también influye en el eclipse.
okay,
Because it's all tied, it's all one energy tied up. En el momento del eclipse, this is what's happening. It's like a picture of the sky, the exact second, the eclipse, como que it's perfect. Se perfecciona el
okay.
eclipse.
So what does it
Entonces,
mean for me? I don't want to be like a me type of person, but I cannot take more.
¿cuál es la casa que está en Aries para ti? If you're rising Acuario, debe ser tu casa 2.
No,
O tu casa 3, perdón. Tu
No,
casa
no,
3.
no, porque I don't have anything in
11,
Aries.
12, 1. No tienes planetas, pero siempre tienes una casa. En todos los signos hay una casa.
Casa 1 tengo Acuario, en la casa
Acuario.
2 tengo...
Significa, esas son las cúspides de las casas. Porque eso es that's a whole other story. Eso, hay diferentes sistemas
Eso
en
es otro
astrología.
podcast, mía.
Sí, that's very
Pero
deep astrology de si estás haciendo Placidus o full sign houses. En fin, para ti, Aries, si tienes o sea, si tu ascendente es Acuario, Aries probablemente, si tú ves la rueda, Aries probablemente va a estar dentro de tu casa 3.
no sé porque dice que en mi casa 3 es Tauro.
Sí, tu casa 3 empieza en Tauro.
Ok.
O
So,
entonces Aries va a estar en tu casa 2. So, esta energía a ti es casa 2, casa 3, más o menos. ¿Que te
okay.
acuerdas que yo te estaba diciendo que fue a ti que te dije que you were having things in your second house and eighth house? Y Libra tampoco. I would have to see your chart. Like, I need to see the wheel. I need to see the wheel.
Sí, se
I
me
need to see the wheel para ver dentro qué casa está. O sea, ese signo está dentro de una casa.
Me quedé sin
Ajá,
batería.
Mira.
oh,
Pero yo lo tengo aquí, espérense. No se burlen de mí.
se te
Porque si está
dañó
en tu
el
casa
crop
2 o
top.
8 es la casa de las finanzas, el dinero, el
Porque yo te había
autoestima, la
mandado mi rueda y
vulnerabilidad.
tú me habías dicho la casa del dinero y el business y
Ajá,
whatever.
eso es lo que me estaba cortando, que yo creo que yo te la vi y estaba en tu casa 2 y 8, Aries y Virgo. Aries y Libra, perdón. Sino que es que I'm on my phone, so I can't check.
Sí, sí,
Oh,
Pero
yo también, está en mi
si
phone.
estás en tu
Pero,
casa 2 y 8, that's la casa de las finanzas. ¿Que te acuerdas que yo te dije que it's a big year for your para estabilizar tus finanzas?
yes.
yes, get there.
Which is like, es que no se ve
Bien,
bien.
se ve,
No,
no
Mari.
se ve nada,
No sé, espérate.
no se ve
Muéstrame
nada.
Aries. No se ve
¿Cuál es
nada.
Aries?
Mierda, es que no se ve nada. Si no
Somos
estoy
el
mal,
muñequito de Aries.
Aries es como una B así, como una
Parece como
B,
una V con
como
dos
con dos
cositas a los
patitos.
lados.
Ajá.
Ah,
El
Aries no es,
toro.
no, ese es el
El
toro,
toro, ¿no?
ajá.
O ese es Tauro.
Oh, is it this one?
Tauro.
Sí, la que está
Mm,
abajo, la que es como así.
Que
la que
parece como
está
una
La que
abajo.
sigue
T.
a Pisces. ¿Y qué
Ajá.
dice? ¿Qué casa?
3.
A ver, muéstrame.
3, pero
Está entre tu casa 2 y 3. O la casa 3 empieza en Tauro y tu casa 2 empieza al final de Pisces. Pero eso significa que Aries está en toda tu casa 2.
okay. Which means
Eso significa que Libra está en tu casa 8 y la casa 2 y 8 son el axis de las finanzas. La
okay.
casa 2 es las finanzas, it's more like, el valor. So it can be el valor propio, so like your self-esteem and the way you love yourself, y el valor de las cosas materiales, so your salary, your income, también it can be like assets materiales. Then your eighth house, que es la casa 8, it's the house de las finanzas, pero it's more las finanzas compartidas with someone else. Es las finanzas que you can share with someone else, es las finanzas que son más como una deuda, una herencia, una como like la cuenta
Herencia.
que tienes conjunta con tu esposo. You know, that's the eighth house. Y además, it's also the house of vulnerability. It's the house donde you become your most vulnerable self. Y si lo ves no en la parte monetaria o de valor, sino que lo ves en la parte como emocional, it's the part when you like, right, your seventh house es cuando, the eighth house comes from the seventh house. So tu casa 7 is when you sign the contract with someone, and then in the eighth house you merge everything. Sean assets, o sean life, o sean emotions, o sea, that's why the eighth house también es la casa del sexo. It's like when you merge absolutely
With
everything and you
somebody.
become one person with someone.
I'm
And
like,
you're
Bueno,
I need to go
detaching.
like that.
it doesn't
Puede
necessarily
ser
have to be romantic. La casa 8 es la casa de la muerte, pero no lo ves la muerte física, sino la muerte simbólica. It's like a death. It's like the phoenix, like, right? The phoenix burns down, becomes ashes, and then it rises from the ashes. That's the eighth house. It's like a rebirth. You're like
rebirth.
reborn, pero todo renacimiento comes from a death. So it could be an ego death, it could be an emotional death, no necesariamente física.
Okay,
Pero
okay.
that's
I'm
the
super
eighth
into
house.
this.
So the eighth
Sí,
house
porque
is a
ahora,
very deep emotional house.
Well, yeah, pasó, and I'm like in rebirth mode. So yes, I'm into
Ajá.
this.
So you're
I'm into
being
this.
reborn. Ajá.
Yes, I'm into this.
Exacto. And then your second house es como que también your self-worth y también el
Okay.
valor monetario de las cosas. So it's like both sides. So it's like working on your self-esteem
Oh.
también, like learning how to love yourself y como que valorarte a ti misma as a person, and then also your assets, your money, your income.
I'm super into it because I feel que eso sí ahora mismo es algo que I've been transitioning into after the type of relationship that I had.
Yeah.
I feel que that self-worth piece es algo que I've been working on, and I've seen how it slowly has transitioned me into that space where ya como que me siento más.
Yourself, and like
Ajá.
you're learning how to love a new version of yourself.
Yes.
Y
Yes.
también becoming more, como que la casa 2 y 8 también, it's like, if you're like económicamente, like, inmadura o irresponsable, lo que sea, it's gonna make you learn how to manejar tus finanzas, you know?
Okay.
No
I
matter
also need
how,
that.
te va a enseñar y como que así sea las buenas o las malas, it's like, you're gonna learn how to become independent financieramente and how to manage your own finances.
Oh, that's gonna be difficult because I have no idea how to pay things or how to do. Like, I
Bueno,
think that I'm learning that ahora.
dice
Like,
No
yeah,
digas
yeah.
eso porque you learn how to pressure wash.
No, yeah, I know. I'm saying that I'm learning. Like, I feel that, after my marriage, now is the time that at 30-ish, I'm learning how to, like, cómo se paga, like, the light bill and
Yeah,
yeah,
things like that,
me
that I had
too,
never
look.
done in my life. So,
I had
see.
never paid
right.
rent hasta ahora. Like, now I'm like, I have like an alarm in my phone so that I don't forget to pay rent or Spectrum, porque la última vez casi me cortan el televisor, el Wi-Fi, porque I forgot to pay Spectrum, que es el del Wi-Fi.
Del
Dios
Wi-Fi.
linda.
Oh
Oh
my
my God.
God. Now, okay, we talked a little bit about a Mercury retrograde. So it's not always a bad thing que esté en retrograde, or is it always gonna be a bad thing? Porque, like, I'm sorry to be so hung up on it, but people talk so much about it que
Porque
me
that's
enloquece.
people that don't know about astrology. Porque no tienes por qué tenerle miedo a Mercurio. Sí, there's sometimes happen things como que, especially in technology and communication, donde you can say certain things that you como que después te arrepientes, you make certain decisions that you're going to reevaluate, pero it's not the end of the world. Lo único que está recomendado es que if you don't have to sign a contract or commit to something long term during Mercury retrograde, don't do it.
No, don't
Si
do
te
it.
toca, pues you have to do it. ¿Sí me
Pero ven
entiendes?
acá, when does Mercury retrograde, when did it start and when does it end? Because I have to sign
It's
a
just
lot
a
of things
few
coming up.
weeks. It's
Huh?
gonna end. It's just a few weeks. It ends like beginning of May.
And when did it start?
Empezó ayer, antes de ayer,
Ah,
el
okay, okay,
primero.
okay.
Yeah, you're fine, mija.
Pero lo que pasa es que if we're getting into astrology, el Mercurio dura retrógrado only 3 weeks. It started like 2 days ago. It's gonna end like end of April. Pero lo que pasa es que Mercurio dura en sombra, pre-retrógrada y post-retrógrada. That means like
Oh,
Mercury retrograde es como que, imagínate como que you're here, right? You're gonna avanzar acá, te vas a devolver a este mismo punto, and then you're gonna go through the same path 3 veces. So, antes que once Mercurio llega al punto, right, donde él está pasando direct, normal, el área where he's gonna retrograde back to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the shadow period. Entonces, technically, it's not retrograde anymore, pero you're gonna reevaluate anything that happens in that time. So that's why they tell you like, oh, exes come back during Mercury retrograde, because
Ew.
Mercury rige la cabeza, la mente, tus recuerdos, tu memoria. So people
we don't
tend to
want
like
that.
remember people from the past. So they're like,
I'm not
ay,
remembering
de
anybody.
Lina,
Hallelujah.
¿qué hay de la vida de Lina? Ve, me acordé de Lina.
No, that would be an absolutely nuts. We do not have time for that, my
You
friend.
don't want it. You don't
I
want
don't
it to
want
be.
it.
I
Okay,
don't want it. Mira.
it can also be a friend
It could
recordándote, ¿no?
also
Like,
be a friend. It depends on
Oh, there
where
you
in your
go.
chart it's gonna be. So depende de la casa, de la casa de donde están pasando las cosas, como que cada casa significa algo. Te expliqué la casa 2 y 8, pero por ejemplo, if it happens in your 5th or 11th house, la casa 5 es la casa del romance. So, pero es el romance when it's starting, when you're starting to meet someone. So if you have it in your 5th house, then maybe a fling from your past shows up. And your 11th house
Mm,
puede ser la casa también de amigos. Entonces, it could be
claro,
more like an acquaintance, un amigo que no ves hace rato, like things like
claro,
that.
claro,
So
claro,
it
claro.
depends on where in your chart it's happening.
Now, can it also mean in Mercury retrograde that you get more nostalgico, or is that like not a thing?
It depends what Mercury retrograde is doing. Pero sí, porque you're como re-evaluating things. So te puedes poner nostálgica en como, ay, me acordé de tal, de fulanito y cosas así. Pero
Mm.
Mercury, it's not an emotional planet, right? Mercury rige Géminis y Virgo, que son signos que have nothing to do with emotions, cero. So,
Mm.
Mercurio no es que sea emotional, lo que pasa es que Mercurio es racional y Mercurio rige the mind, entonces rige mucho lo que estás pensando en el momento. So, Mercurio sobreanaliza, le encanta el overthinking. Entonces, that's what
Mm.
happens. You're like overthinking. Pero no es tan como me duele, como la luna, por ejemplo. Everything that happens with the moon, it's emotions. It heightens your
Oh,
emotions. You're like, oh, I'm gonna cry, you know. That's the
okay,
moon.
okay, 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 okay,
So
okay.
I have a question for you. How do people tie our like women's menstrual cycle to us to like the moon cycle and astrology?
Porque
Porque
you
I've
know
heard that
that moon has a 28-day cycle,
they
right? Just
cycle,
like
right?
us. So you
Yes.
have a full, and in that cycle, tienes new moon, full moon, y
Yeah.
tienes luna menguante y luna creciente.
Right.
So
Right.
that's like how it's tied to the menstrual cycle,
The
right? New
menstrual
moon, your
cycle.
menstrual cycle is starting, and then like, you start ovulating, like cuarto creciente,
Yeah.
cuarto menguante, like all that thing, like full
Right.
moon, you ovulate, like todo eso. So it's like a 28-day cycle, and that's why it's tied to the women's menstrual cycle. Además, the moon rige el tide, como que el agua, the tide of the ocean. Y we are 90, yo no sé what's the percentage, but we're
No,
mostly
they
water.
are percent of mostly water. Yeah, we're
Uh-huh. So
mostly made of
that's why
water. Yeah.
we feel everything that the moon does, we feel it a lot. Y a veces, o sea, every month we have new moons and full moons, depends on where it is in
Yeah.
your chart, pero we feel those moons a lot también. It doesn't necessarily have to be an eclipse. Obviamente los eclipses son un full moon or new moon a la 10,
This
pero
is gonna be, mira, this is gonna be a lot of TMI, pero I am actually gonna I'm gonna be on my period while this eclipse happens, by
Oh
the
my
way.
God! Do not go
you
to watch
guys,
this
if this
eclipse.
is getting TMI, I am gonna be having an egg retrieval on the day of the
Oh, but
eclipse. The day of the eclipse.
you
I did
won.
not plan that. I did not plan that.
Pero tú sabes que
Pero,
my theory persists. I feel that that's a good thing because
Carmen,
Jesus died and there was an eclipse.
Yeah.
And 3 days later he came to save us. And I feel
Uh-huh.
que that only means que usualmente después de que hacen un egg retrieval, después esperas un tiempo because they have to like
And then
evaluate
I'm gonna
them.
be like
wait, how
back.
many fallen?
And then, no,
Yeah.
en 3 días o something es lo que se demora en que te digan how much are viable,
Ajá.
cómo le fue,
Yeah,
like,
how
¿Cuántos me
many,
pudieron
how many
sacar? Bla, bla, bla.
follicles?
ajá.
Yeah.
Amen.
And I feel
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
that's gonna be really good because
Sí.
Jesus is gonna be like, you're gonna get all the
Jesus.
little eggs
And
that are gonna be
anyways,
amazing.
sí, lo que yo les estaba diciendo, los eclipses, the eclipses are karmic events. So it's all
Hmm.
based on karma. So the thing about astrology is that astrology is based in past, like you have past lives, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course, our religion, we're Catholic, that does not go with our religion. But in astrología, um, it's like the astrology is based on like when you're born, you choose the chart that you're gonna be born with, and you
Okay.
that the people that in con la que reencarnas are people that come with you through past lives, and you can see that in your chart. When you do a synastry with another person, you're like, oh, this is a soulmate. This is someone that's traveling from a past life with me. No solamente tu pareja romántica, pero tu mamá, tu papá, tu prima, tu hermana, tu abuela, tu tía, like your best friend.
Yeah.
Perdona que te interrumpe. I wonder how our three cosas
We would have
están.
to tie it, pero like normally
Yeah.
families travel together. through lives. Entonces como que uno puede ver through, like, normalmente through the nodes, like the north node, the south nodes, and there's certain mathematical points in your chart que te dicen y te pueden mostrar if you're traveling through lives with that person.
I'm super
Ooh, I
into
Ajá.
this.
love this porque I do
Entonces,
feel, yeah, I love this porque I do, again, going back to thinking about the things that we have done, where we've been, how it's going. Like sometimes you meet somebody, and you're like, I've known this person for so, like, I feel like
yeah,
I've
you're like,
known
oh
this
my God, I know this
person.
person my entire life, and you just met
Yes, my
them.
entire, and you just met
Because
them, and
your
I,
soul, so en esta vida, your mind y tu cuerpo físico doesn't remember anything from your past life, but your
Mhm.
soul remembers everything. So your soul recognizes the other person's soul. And that's why you're
Recognizes the
like,
other.
I'm gonna
oh, I know you from your.
cry.
So that's like the karmic area. That's karmic astrology, and I love it. And that's what the eclipses do. Como que los eclipses bring people into your life that are meant to be there because of a karmic purpose. Como que cada
Yes,
persona que entra o sale en un eclipse has its own purpose. And the events that happen, they had to happen. You know, like it
yes.
is meant to be. Like this had to happen. So I'm having my retrieval. Como que the way my egg
Sí.
freezing happened, it was timed de que I started my hormones on the Libra eclipse, and I'm doing my retrieval on the Aries eclipse
I'm
without
gonna
Eclipse.
panic.
cry.
So
Literal.
maybe whatever
No.
one of those eggs, it's gonna be a future embryo. It's gonna be a future baby.
Yes, that's
So you know what I
insane.
mean? Como que everything
Happens,
happens
happens.
for a reason and how it has to happen, especialmente when it involves eclipses. And then
Yeah.
in your chart, cuando lo pones with other people, you can see how you tie to those people beyond, porque mucha gente es como que, la sinastría, like, how compatible am I with that person? Yes, you can see
Yes.
that, pero that's como que super superficial. What you can see in a synastry chart también es como que, what is my karmic purpose with this person? ¿Qué viene esta persona a enseñarme a mí? ¿Qué vengo yo a enseñarle a esta persona? You
Oh,
Yes.
know,
I
and are we
love
coming
that.
from and usually when
Pero
that
you know
happens, we're
what?
coming from a past life.
I've heard this before, porque going back to that ex, I feel like you have people, and somebody once said to me, people come to you in your life for a reason. And sometimes you
Everything.
don't see the reason why, and you don't understand it, and you might not necessarily like it, but there's a reason why these people came into your life, and there's a reason why they left, or
Mm-hmm.
left in the whatever sense that leaving is, whether
Yeah.
it's romantic or it's, financially or whatever it is. Pero I do believe there's a reason why things, and you meet the people that you meet in your
For
life
for a
for
specific
a
reason.
reason.
Uh-huh.
Exacto.
Exacto.
Yes, a
And
hundred
you
percent.
come to teach each other person something que te va a llevar to evolve, because the idea is
To
that you want your soul to evolve to its like
Higher
higher
streets.
self
So
and your
this is
higher
very,
purpose.
y esto es very, so Carl Jung hablaba, un psicólogo, that he used to talk about like higher selves and the
Mm-hmm.
achievement of a higher self. And this sounds very much like it. You're always looking towards your higher self and making
Mm-hmm.
sure que siempre tengas como que you're being the best you could be, potentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah, esto tiene
Because you
mucho
have a
sentido.
exactly, because you have a higher self, que es como your soul, right? And
Mhm.
like your soul reencarna, comes like encarna in a body so that it learns different types of lessons that it
Mhm.
needs so that your soul pueda evolucionar, like each, like it's like levels, right? So you basically, what astrology says is like, when you're born, you're like, okay, this is the chart that I choose to be born, porque these are the lessons that I'm going to learn throughout my life. Entonces, como que it's basically like you're signing a contract with the universe, and you're like, okay, entonces yo voy a encarnar con Pia, con Lina, con Warifafi, con Tutanito y Fulanito, y
Bonito.
todos nos vamos a enseñar, esta persona me va a enseñar esto,
Something.
yo le voy a enseñar a la otro, y todo es for your evolution, basically.
Oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
I love
That's
this.
karmic astrology, y todo has everything to do with the eclipses. So in
Oh.
eclipses, you renew contracts and you end contracts and you start new contracts. Like these types of like karmic, invisible contracts with other people.
I'm digging this eclipse. I'm telling you, yo voy a ir.
Ya va a ver el eclipse.
Sí, el
I don't know,
eclipse.
the last time I watched an eclipse in 2017, me empezaron a dar los eclipses por la cabeza. I'm gonna hide.
Yo también vi ese eclipse en la cabeza, pero it changed my life in a very good way. I feel like,
Oh, a mí
you know,
también. I'm
Los
changing my life in
eclipses
a very good
nunca van
way,
a hacer
pero...
nada malo. Los eclipses, lo que pasa es que the eclipses, one of the things that eclipses do to teach you a lesson is that they're gonna clean whoever it's
It's not
not
meant to
meant
be. Oh,
for
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
to
next
be
chapter
in
of
my
your
life.
evolution. So they're gonna
Okay,
clean everybody. Lo
La
van a hacer cut
basurita.
through. Es como chao.
Van a limpiar la basurita, básicamente, que
So
fue lo que
they
me pasó a
como,
mí.
clean, clean, clean hasta que estés
Yeah.
limpia so that the new people can come in for your next, you know,
chapter.
because like your next chapter, every chapter, your soul has evolved because you've learned. Claro, you see yourself 10 years ago with someone completely different than the person you are right now.
Oh,
¿Por
yeah,
qué? Because of
100%.
all the lessons that you've been through life en los últimos 10 años. Y those
So
lessons,
could you start that process before the eclipse happens? O sea, como que, because everything, me imagino que todas las energías through the eclipse, hasta que el eclipse es como que es como que
es
the
como el
maximum
boom.
points.
Lo que pasa es
Exacto,
que
pero there's events that happen prior to
the
and
eclipse, yeah.
then the eclipse.
Like there's
So,
something called activations. So what I was
okay,
telling you, como que in every como signo, there's 30 degrees. Entonces,
okay,
this eclipse is in the 19th degree of Aries, right? So,
okay,
la luna el mes pasado pasó por el grado 19 de Aries. Ahí empezó a activar el eclipse. Ya hace un mes, la
okay,
luna activó el eclipse, así no fuera eclipse. It's like, okay, I'm activating this. Por ahí también pasó otro planeta. Entonces, después va a venir el eclipse y después bueno, vuelve y pasa la luna otra vez el mes después. Ya vuelve a activar eso y así. Y es como also what I was telling you about the nodes. Entonces, when the node
ajá,
pasa por el punto del eclipse, entonces el eclipse en Libra, por ejemplo, que acaba de pasar, que fue en el fifth degree of Libra. Right now, the lunar node, it's in the 15th degree of Libra. In like end of this year, the lunar node is actually going to touch the fifth degree of Libra, and that's going to activate the eclipse that happened a week ago.
Which,
And that's
what
a
going to
does
happen
week,
that
in
mean?
November. That's
And
going to
what,
happen in
oh,
November.
and what does
in
that
So,
mean that it
November.
activates it?
so la energía de los eclipses abren a window. Como que it's not like
Okay.
that day te pasó ya. Si no te pasó este día, me salvé. No. O sea, la energía de los eclipses dura mucho tiempo. Because los eclipses en Aries y Libra, en los mismos signos, así tan, 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 are happening for 18 months. So es una historia que it evolves during 18 months. Y después pasa a un signo diferente y la historia como que va evolving y va cambiando basado en los signos en que los eclipses están pasando and where in your chart that is. No es como que oh, one
Oh.
eclipse, one day, boom, ya, end. No.
So it tells me aquí me estoy viendo mi carta astral, and I am
Right.
in the house I or the house one
Uno,
is
la
the
uno. Aries.
is the area of self identity,
Ujú.
how you act in life, and the attitude that I so I see ascendant in Aries, and I am
Ese es el
quick and
rising.
direct.
Eso es
And
Aries.
my first instinct is to do, which is not my style, but
But
my
you're a
first instinct is
Pisces. That's the
I
thing. That's why
know.
you have to combine all the energies. Por eso uno no puede.
Yes,
Si yo te escribo la energía de Aries, de pronto tú me vas a decir como, I don't know. Porque, of course, you're a
yes,
Pisces as well.
I
So
am.
you need
It's
to find that in between. Entonces, más
a
bien lo que yo te dije, maybe you're more
balance.
passive aggressive. Como que
Sí.
sí me entiendes.
Yes, I am. Porque this is not, porque aquí dice Aries rising loves action and often trying to stir up some activity. Their strength lies in their enterprising ways, which I don't know, pero dice que I am quick and I'm charged forward without much ado, and that's not typically my thing.
Lo
Pero
que pasa.
dice, My aggression is too strong a word for these natives. They have youthful, direct manner that sees what it wants and generally goes for it. So that I
Esa
will
es la,
say.
esa es la
I
energía, ahí te están describiendo la energía básica y raw de Aries, pero you have
de
to mix
Aries.
that up, porque es diferente, yo soy ascendente Aries, pero mi signo solar es Sagitario, que también es fuego, entonces yo soy full fuego,
Yes.
Okay.
whereas tu ascendente es Aries, but you're a Pisces, que es agua.
Mm-hmm.
So, o sea, es diferente, la manera en que se manifiesta en mí es diferente que en ti,
Can
you
be
know?
And
Mhm.
let me tell you that it really described me very, very like
to the
what
T.
like I saw myself in what they were like the
Yeah.
description that it was giving me, you know?
Because
About
you have to mix up the energies. Como que, por ejemplo, that's why it's like you always have your big three, que it's the big three signs, que es rising, sun, and moon, que son las que más dictan como tu personalidad. But you have other planets. Pero si tú mezclas esas tres, it can kind of like describe como your main personality traits.
yeah.
Pero, por
Porque de
ejemplo,
verdad me sentí identificada. Like it was like 20 pages of explaining
yeah.
who I was as a person and I felt
Y eso probablemente fue alguien que lo escribió analyzing everything. She probably also took into account el fact de que tu Marte está en Escorpio y dónde está tu Venus y like those things. Como personality wise, you're always going to want to analyze Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, and Mercury. All those planets, y la mezcla of all of those are going to dictate your main personality. Ya después te entras entre los otros planetas que son un poco más generacionales, but it's a whole, your chart's a whole thing. Por eso es que you can't just describe you as like one sign. Ah, yo soy Pisces, then ya, no. But you're rising Aries. Como que sí, ves, ahí vas metiendo. Entonces, where's your moon? Ah, your moon es tan, ta, ta, ta. So that's how you start describe, like, mostrando and like showing your personality.
but I must
Yes.
say that ever since I started like going into this rabbit hole of like all these things, me empezaron a salir en Instagram, me empezaron a salir memes of Capricorn and
Y me
how
sale, tengo la Pisces.
Capricorn es el tipo de persona que como que, oh, whatever, like, you can go, I don't care,
Yes.
bye. And that
Porque,
describes me so to my core.
pero
Like,
es que eso es una mezcla entre Capricornio y Acuario. Porque
yo
they
Sí,
soy
porque
both
así.
be
Acuario is like that.
Ice Princess, o sea, Ice Princess. ¿Sí
Yo
me entiendes?
literalmente, I'm
Y
the
como
type of
cutthroat,
person
como, bye, peace,
I'm the type
love
of
you,
person
Yes.
that I
me
was
voy.
talking to Pia the other day, pero since I'm little, like yo te amo, te adoro, I'll give you my 100. But the moment
Obvio,
that I
porque tienes la
say,
luna de Escorpio.
hasta aquí llegó el tren, I can
Hasta ahí llegó el
literally
tren.
walk past you and you're like a ghost. Like,
Pero eso es también, mira, si tú mezclas las tres energías, Escorpio, Capricornio y Acuario, las tres son cutthroat. Lo que pasa es que Escorpio es un
Yes. I
signo,
was just about
es
to
un
say.
signo de agua, súper
Yes.
emocional, pero Escorpio es lo más cutthroat y Escorpio es como, te corté y te amputo. O sea,
yeah,
te
no,
Mi
that's
papá,
me.
amputé de
ese
mi
es mi
vida
papá. That's my
completamente.
dad.
Yeah,
Ajá,
That's
y yo soy así, like, I'm
amputada.
very, like, y not in a bad way, not como que te deseo mal, no, simplemente literalmente es como que te deseo lo mejor, pero tú no existes. Like, I have
Yeah,
no
you
idea who
do
you
not
are.
exist.
Like, me puedes estar hablando and I can literally tune you. Mi hermana siempre me decía, you can tune people out. I'm like, yes, no es importante. Bye.
Pero that's like la mezcla, o sea, if you mix those three signs, que son your big three, obviamente cada signo lo hace a su manera and feels it differently, pero entre esos tres signos no sé cuál amputa más que el otro. Lo que pasa es que lo hacen de maneras diferentes en que, por ejemplo, Scorpio, it's gonna give you everything that they have.
Me.
Every little piece of me, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna be, te voy a entregar todo. Like, and I'm gonna need everything from you. Y como que es como, you know.
Absorbente, así soy yo.
Ajá. But then, once they're like, sabes que ya no más, es como, chao. O sea, like, and you're like, wait, what? Y
sí.
lo mismo Capricornio, además Capricornio, pero Capricornio es más como calculado, o sea, Capricornio es calculador. Like they're gonna first like be like, okay, let's sit down and let's analyze the situation. Like what, like does this serve the purpose or not? Si Capricornio decide that this is not serving a purpose, then it's like Chao.
Vámonos
Like,
para carajo.
next. Like, next, right? Because es como que, you know, very organized, very meticuloso, very, like, down to earth. Si no es, no es. Chao. Límites. Like, Capricornio es límites. And I put a limit, I put a wall, and chao.
That is
That is,
also
that is
me. I'm like,
too, that
ya
is
Ajá.
hasta
also
aquí, like,
you.
no. It's not
Ya
still
Acuario es
Limits.
me.
más como,
Bye.
es más, Acuario es más como, yo necesito espacio, no me hables, yo te aviso si quiero hablar contigo, yo te aviso, pero
Here's my.
no me estreses, no me hables, no me
Yes.
mires, no me toques, yo te
Eso
Sí,
también
sí,
aviso.
soy
ese
yo.
es
My phone on do
ajá,
not disturb all day.
todo el día, qué ladilla.
Yo no quito Do Not Disturb, I have my Venus in Aquarius, y yo también soy así, y I'm like, Do Not Disturb, no, o sea, like, if you
Y
need
eres
to talk to me, you'll
Sagittarius.
call me twice.
Yo estoy surrounded by Sagittarius porque Emma is also a
Ah,
Sagittarius.
yeah, she's December
Oh,
19th, no? 19th?
19.
Mm-hmm.
Ujú.
Yeah, 19th.
Sagittarius. Y
Sagittarius,
ella es.
honestly, no es porque yo sea Sagitario, pero Sagitario is one of the best signs.
Ay, por el
Oh,
fin, la que
No, ¿sabes qué
linda.
es lo que pasa? Porque we're super fun, we're super social. O sea, we
sí,
can be a
super
little
social.
dramatic. We can be a little dramatic, no? Like, I'm not gonna lie. We can
Sí,
be dramatic, exageradas a veces. But we're like fun and social and we're very positive. We try always to see like
sí,
the bright side of things.
lo
Como que
sé.
nos
Eso sí es
tendemos a
verdad,
como
María
que,
Clara y Emma son así las
Se
dos.
parece mucho así porque Emma es así. Emma's like the hype girl de su grupo. She's
mhm,
like, and there's very little few things that actually like get her down. Como que ella
ajá.
es bien,
Like un
like, tiene,
Sagitario depresivo, like I would have to be like, okay, tienes que tener algo bien
no,
darks en
no,
tu carta porque Sagitario es como que even if we're sad, we're like, no, como que get up
no,
and like,
Emma,
let's see the
esa es
bright
Emma.
side of it y como
Yes,
que, y Sagitario, it's like party girl, like social, it's
yes,
fun, it's
yes.
like, yeah.
Emma,
Y María
Emma has
Clara siempre están de party.
the party. Emma, your close friends, bring some, vamos a comprarte algo for your close friends. We went to Vegas. Okay, you can bring
20.
something for your close friends. 10. And I'm like, eso
Yeah.
no es close friends míos, eso todo el salón.
Uh-huh. But that's me. I'm like, I can't have bridesmaids when I get married.
No,
I can't have
exacto.
15 girls standing there. Those are my close
Yeah.
friends. Como que I can't. Pero eso es súper Sagitario, like Sagitario full así.
Okay,
And de los
Sagitario.
signos de fuego es el mejor porque Leo can be too egocéntrico y Aries it
Sí,
can be too like too much. Como que
yo tengo un
excelente.
cálmate.
punto.
Yo tengo Aries y Leo, ¿ok?
Okay, yo
Carlos
tengo
Alberto es Leo.
Nena,
I
Nena
Leo.
is Nena is a Gemini.
Then I'm a Gemini. Bueno, yo tengo mi luna en Géminis, entonces, the thing es que los signos que la gente más es como que no es los signos de
Géminis,
aire, Géminis, Acuario y
sí,
Libra.
Acuario y
Y
Libra.
Libra,
Pero
because los
no.
signos de aire, lo que pasa con los signos de aire es que they're charming as fuck. They're also
Yes.
super social. Y te pueden envolver así. Y un Géminis tiene una labia.
Mija,
¡Fue
ahí
puta!
ahí está el
Labia.
tuyo.
O sea, they like wow, like I can't even describe. My moon's in Gemini, and we can talk for hours y te podemos hablar de lo que tú quieras,
Nena,
Buena
lo que
conversa.
tú quieras. O sea, somos
buena
Yes,
conversa.
conversadores y todos los signos de aire son así. Pero lo que pasa es que
yes.
los signos de aire, they're so rational that they tend to not be emotional. Entonces no es que no sientan, sino que como
Oh.
racionalizan tanto, that's why they can be so cutthroat y cutthroat diferente, porque el escorpio puede ser cutthroat, pero el escorpio por dentro está muriéndose.
Sufriéndolo.
O
Yeah.
sea, Escorpio la sufrió heavy. Géminis y
Sí.
Acuario y Libra como, I mean, la sufrí 3 segundos and then I'm on to the next.
Oh my God, ese es
Así.
Samir. Samir es Libra, pero el Samir es Libra y él es muy así. O sea, él, cuando yo a veces le digo a él, pero es que no, pero es que tú no piensas, me dice, Diana, no hay que pensar, esto es el negocio, esto es así, 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 y ya,
Yeah,
that's it.
ajá, y that's it, y son very rational, entonces son muy como que they can get in their head, so a veces they can tend to overthink como que
Yes,
things, pero in a
yes.
very como, en una manera muy mental. So,
Okay.
Sí.
the main como challenge de los signos de aire is to learn how to feel emotions. You don't think
Okay.
emotions, you feel emotions. And that's our biggest challenge. I mean, tell me, I'm a Venus in Aquarius and my moon is in Gemini. Como que I don't like feeling anything.
No,
Como
Maria Clara,
no
Yeah.
Maria Clara es tremendo ice prince. Yo no creo que I've ever seen you cry.
I do cry,
No,
pero
sí, sí.
por ejemplo, I don't like people to see me cry. O sea, si yo te lloro, es como ya no me
Sí,
lo puedo contener.
sí, 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 sí,
Como
sí.
que I
Yo
don't
le he
like
visto
people to
llorar.
see me cry. Yo no soy super lovey-dovey. I don't like que me toquen de a mucho. Es como que, ya poquitos, ya poquitos. O sea,
I
como ya.
remember last time that she was here, I'm like, I'm just gonna hug you every like 5 minutes. She's
Y
like,
yo como,
please don't. Please don't.
y mi mamá que me ahoga. Y yo como, ya, mami,
Tu
ya,
mamá,
¿por qué eres
pero
así?
tu mamá es
Leo, Leo.
Leo, pero Leo de Julio, which is a different. That's something else. So Pisces de March is different from el Pisces del Febrero, and Leo from August is different than el Julio Leo or like later Leo.
Lo que
Like
pasa
that's
es que el Leo de Julio viene de Cáncer. So you're in the cusp with Cancer. So cuando el sol viene de Cáncer, it's different porque
yeah,
el Cáncer es un signo como tan empático,
My
tan
mom.
amoroso, tan loving, tan caring,
yes,
tan
yes,
emocional. Entonces como
yes,
que once it comes into Leo, it's still bringing some of that energy.
sí,
So that's why a
Oh.
July Leo is a little different que ya el Leo de agosto, que ya es como Leo, como ya no hay cáncer ahí, ya es Leo, egocéntrico, I'm like, I shine, I'm the center of the universe, me. Obviamente, that's me exagerando la energía de Leo, not every Leo es así solamente, pero al Leo le gusta llamar la atención, they're great in the spotlight, they just like shine very naturally. Por eso un Leo también is like a Leo walks in the room and you know the Leo walked in the room.
Oh my God,
You
absolutely.
Eso
know
sí
que
es
llegó el
verdad.
Leo.
Ven acá, do I
Eso,
have any Leo in my carta astral? I don't see any Leo anywhere.
I mean,
yo no.
you have every sign, y lo debes de tener en una casa, but I
Sí.
don't know if you
El
have any
Oh,
charts.
siete. What does siete mean?
Your seventh house, porque you're rising Aquarius, so el signo opposite de Acuario es Leo. So your seventh house, o sea, tu descendente, porque tú tienes un ascendente y un descendente. El ascendente es Acuario y el descendente es Leo, que es lo que les estaba explicando. The seventh house is, the first house is the house of el yo, and the seventh house is the house of the other.
mira.
Oh, so what does that mean if it's a Leo?
I mean, eso simple, that one's gonna explain, like when you, that, where you have your descendente, says a lot about like the type of relationships that you can have y how you are in a relationship. Pero you have to, so yeah, that's another type of analysis.
Ah, eso es como
Pero
otro podcast, otro
that's another
episodio.
podcast. Yeah, if you want to get into that, that's
Y,
another.
y when, okay, question. Like Samir es Libra.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he and this is, I mean, I'm gonna, don't, again, people, don't come at me. Pero I feel like I was made in this earth to be with him.
Ajá.
Like,
I'm
he's,
pretty sure if
Oh.
I see the charts de ustedes. So, por ejemplo, just from the basic things that I know you're rising Aries. So, yo sé que tu
yes,
descendente, o sea, your seventh house, is in Libra. And he's a Libra. I don't know
sí,
exactly where his sun is, pero su sol probablemente cae muy cerca de tu descendente. Y that's one of the things in a synastry chart that you see, and you're like, oh, that's marriage. You know?
okay.
I
So
don't
I
know
should
why.
marry a Leo?
No es necesariamente que you're gonna marry a Leo, pero si tú conoces a alguien que tenga algún placement en Leo, es una energía que te va a traer mucho a ti, as like this is someone that you can build something a largo plazo.
Oh.
You know, lo mismo, como que bueno, con una persona en una sinastría uno ve los planetas que la persona te pone en la casa. So, Pía, su casa 7 es Libra, entonces Samir le pone el sol de él y le ilumina su casa 7
Completamente.
completamente.
You guys are meant to be.
Like 100%.
And that's something very
love.
basic. Como
I
que
love.
you probably have much more stuff que I would have to sit down a ver como que your lunar nodes, like what's going on
Yes.
there, como que, you know, things like that. Como que, and you can see probably if you come from past lives together.
Oh,
Yes.
qué
I
Mhm.
know.
lindo. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, y
I
Y,
las casas,
know.
hemos hablado de diferentes casas, but so let's because I know that we've been here for a while. La casa uno
Hora y
es el
media.
ascendente. La casa
Ujú.
dos means what?
La que te dije del valor. Remember?
Okay, la casa tres,
La casa 3 es la de la comunicación.
la casa cuatro,
Es la casa del hogar, la estabilidad y la familia.
Oh, yo
la,
tengo cáncer.
la
So,
cinco.
la 5 es like, lo que te dije, la casa del romance. ¿Te acuerdas que te dije la casa 5 es romance? It's actually when you meet someone and like you are starting to know that person, you're in that honeymoon stage. Y también es la casa de los hijos, la casa de la fertilidad, y la casa de todas las cosas como creativas que te prenden like your inner child.
Oh, I've been
Oh.
to that.
Ujú.
La casa seis es what?
La casa 6 es la casa del cuerpo y de la salud física.
La siete,
El
dijimos que
otro
era
es el descendente. It's like
el
la
otro.
casa
Okay.
del otro y es como por eso esta
Mira,
relación con alguien
yo
más.
tengo, en la casa 7 yo tengo Libra.
See,
Ajá,
that's
that's
what
what I was
Maria
telling
Clara
you.
said. You
That's
are
what I
not
was telling
paying
you.
attention.
Sí,
En la
I paid
casa,
attention. I paid attention, pero lo acabo de ver ahora y como que, oh my God.
la casa
Sí.
8 es what?
La que te expliqué también, ¿te acuerdas que te dije que también es del
Ah,
valor y
el
de la
valor.
vulnerabilidad, la transformación, bla, bla, bla?
Ajá. En la 9,
La 9 es la casa que, ¿te acuerdas que te dije que también es de los procesos legales? That I was like, oh, that's when you see a lot of procesos legales, lo ves en las casas 9. También el extranjero, viajes largos, y también la casa de la expansión, like it
okay.
expands.
La casa 10,
Es la casa es la vista pública, so everything that's like, en las mujeres, por ejemplo, puede ser estatus social, pero más que todo es como tu carrera, la parte laboral y tu carrera. So it's something very public. Es el opposite de la casa 4. ¿Sabes cómo
La
la casa
cuatro.
1 y la 7 are opposite? La casa
ajá,
4 y
ajá,
la 10
ajá.
son opposite. Y esos son los
¿A
axis
quién,
más importantes. Está, tu
a
casa
quién
1 es el
tiene?
ascendente, tu casa 7 es el descendente, tu casa 4 es el bajo cielo y tu casa 10 es el alto cielo. So el
¿Y
bajo
a quién
cielo, que es tu
tienes
casa
tú en
4,
casa 10?
yo tengo a Capricornio en la casa 10. Y
También. ¿Y
porque
tú,
somos
Lina?
Aries, somos ascendente
Aries.
Aries.
¿Y tú, Lina?
Escorpión.
Oh,
Ajá, que I think that's what we were talking about, de que tú tenías la casa 10 en Escorpio. And then la casa 10, la casa 4 es la parte privada, es la estabilidad, como que si tú ves tu rueda astral, la casa 4 está abajo. So it's la base de la carta. It's like what gives you stability and that's why it's your home. So anything that happens in that house, it's gonna shake your entire life. Como que si algo te pasa en your fourth house, it can shake any other house because it's like la base. And then your
esa,
10th house es la parte de arriba, so es la vista pública, it's success, it's career, it's estatus civil, it's something very public.
Okay. And then la casa 11 is
Es
what?
la casa que, que te dije, ¿te acuerdas que era como de los grupos, como amigos, pero no necesariamente like your best friends, sino como tu grupo de gente, la gente con la que trabajas, la gente con, like your group of friends, pero lo que pasa es que your best friends, que son como hermanos, ya se ven más como hasta en la casa 7, because like they're so close, that's different, pero tu casa 11, it's like that casa de los grupos y
Yeah,
de,
like socially, your
like
friends
social,
socially.
it's a very social house.
Okay. And then la casa 12 is what?
Es la casa más oculta, es una casa súper enigmática. I think we were talking about that. Was that with you? Oh no, that was
No,
from
no.
someone from work. La casa 12, it's the house right before entras al ascendente, right? Your first house. So your 12th house says a lot about, like, for example, a good astrologer can analyze how your life, de cómo fue your gestación, cuando estabas en el womb de tu mamá, por ejemplo. Like, la casa 12 es una casa súper, it's like la casa de la espiritualidad, es la casa de lo que está súper oculto, like it's things like, que pasan como tras bambalinas, you know, como que you have a stage and then something's going on tras bambalinas that no one's seeing, that's la casa 12. Y it's very como mística, it's very magical, es la casa que rige Pisces, so it's the same energy as Pisces.
I
Una
have
ay,
casita
sí,
súper
sí,
Capricorn
así
in that
emocional.
dice.
house.
Claro, porque tú
¿Qué?
eres ascendente Acuario. So Capricorn está en tu casa 12. Y tener planetas en la casa 12 son planetas que you come to this life with a karmic debt that you have to work from a past life. todo lo que tienes en la casa 12. Because it's also something that, por ejemplo, una persona que nace con el sol en la casa 12 es alguien que le cuesta mucho trabajo entender su luz y entender how to shine to the world. Por eso de pronto tú puedes conocer a alguien, ay, es Leo. No, marica, lo más egocéntrico, lo más extra y de la nada. Tú conoces a la persona súper introvertida, súper
Súper
callada.
introvertida.
And then te das
Carlos,
cuenta que esa persona
Alejandro.
tiene el sol en la casa 12, como Sebastián, mi hermanito. Sebastián tiene el sol en la casa 12. Es una persona
Ok.
que le cuesta sacar su luz.
Súper introvertida, sí.
Súper introvertidas y también es because like, and it depends on the planets and like many other things, unos pueden ser más que otros, pero it's people that tend to have that type of like, hay como una introversión or something very como que they keep very inside in a world inside them que no one else sees or understands.
Yeah.
Es muy oculto.
Ay, Dios
Interesting.
mío.
Yeah. So those are the 12 houses. Y todas las casas tienen un planeta y un signo que lo rigen. So the first house es Marte y Aries. The
Mhm.
second house es Tauro y Venus. The third house es Géminis y Mercurio. The fourth house es Cáncer y la Luna. The fifth house es Leo y el Sol. The sixth house es Virgo y Mercurio también. The seventh house es Libra y Venus. Then your
Mhm.
eighth house is Scorpio and Pluto. So that's
Mhm.
why, por ejemplo, todo lo que pasa con Plutón, Scorpio, en the eighth house, it's the same energy. Es algo muy parecido. Then your ninth house is Sagittarius and Jupiter. Your 10th house is Capricorn and Saturn. Your 11th house is Aquarius and Uranus. And your 12th house is Pisces and Neptune.
I love that you said Uranus porque I always, every time people say Uranus, my mind goes there.
Well, some people say
You know
Uranus.
that my child
I
was
never know
taught
how
that
it's
it's called.
pronounced.
Now they teach children that it's Uranus.
Uranus, or whatever.
Yeah, because
Uranus.
people don't want to go around saying Uranus.
Uranus.
Whatever.
O
I
digámoslo
did
en
not
español,
learn
Urano,
Uranus.
pues. Urano.
Urano.
But
Urano,
yeah.
Mengana y Perencejo.
I feel
Mira,
that
Samir,
I
Samir
feel
tiene
that
his
we
moon
need
in
like 20
Cancer.
different podcast episodes
Bueno,
to for this deep dive where we gotta
Yes,
call Maria Clara every time that something happens.
a cuando quieran. I need to see Samir's chart so that we can see how you guys connect with each other.
I know. Él es
My
supuestamente, I have to find
gosh.
out what time he was born porque I feel
Mhm.
like he doesn't know that. Él no tiene ni idea.
La mamá debe de saber for sure.
Yes,
Y si
maybe.
él
I'll
tiene,
ask her.
it's a good mix que él sea Libra con la luna en cáncer, porque eso le da como que, like, that's like how, like, I was saying, como que uno tiene que mezclar todo, porque Libra, que es un signo
Eh,
tan de aire, but then Cancer es un signo de agua, so it's a good
Súper
mix,
empático. Yeah.
súper empático, entonces él puede buscar la manera en ser empático y agua, y al mismo tiempo su lado que es
Pero
aire y
sale el
racional.
coñito. Sí, sí,
Ajá,
sí. De vez en cuando se le sale el coñito.
Oh my gosh.
literal.
Bueno, we are
Yes.
all gonna peer pressure Mequi to start giving us
Ajá.
astrology tips every day or at least every week. Let's start a petition because we need more than we've been talking for 2 hours and I feel that we could
Literally.
talk four
For
hours more.
yeah,
Yes.
because there's so much in astrology and like there's so many different things that you can see, como lo que les estaba explicando with the karmic astrology. It's super interesting, and it's like it's so interesting, and it's like
So
wow.
where did you learn it? Can people go and be like, where I learned this from this
Yes,
person?
you're gonna learn it in Mequi
They're
Astral.
So
no, obvio.
yo aprendí todo from Mia Astral. So Mia
Oh, I
Astral,
follow
esa
her.
astróloga
Sí.
venezolana. She's been like
Yeah.
en redes sociales for many years, and I followed her for many years. Pero ella, she has classes. She has astrology classes every day. Ella tiene
Okay.
una página web and you pay a membership y todos los días te está enseñando. And I mean, I've been in her membership since 2016.
Yeah, I
So I've
remember when
been
Oh,
I
to,
first went to
pero
visit
everything I
you
know.
in New York around that time. Ya tú estabas
2016,
hablando de
ya yo
eso.
estaba de eso. Ajá. Desde ahí es que I've been learning about mi astral. And like she has amazing, like she has actually astrology classes. And that's how I've learned everything. And then I also like have books y vainas que I've like read throughout the years.
read
And like I
throughout
love
the
like
years.
researching. y así, pero
I need the cliff notes, so I don't have tiempo to aprender because I follow mi astral and half of the things that she says, I don't understand them.
porque ya te habla Urano, Neptuno y Saturno y la vaina, entonces, like, if you don't
Sí,
understand what each
necesitas
planet means, you have
como
no
un
idea.
beginner course.
This
You
is
need, like,
why
beginner
Meqi's gonna
courses.
give us a beginner course every week on her Instagram. I feel that Meqi's gonna give us an update.
Sí, yo creo.
I just never have time. I wish I had time to become like a full-time astrologer, like hacer un Instagram.
I feel that you
No,
can make
pero
the time, girl. You can make the time.
I have a full-time job que es súper exigente.
in the beauty industry, by
In
the
the
way.
beauty industry.
Pero thank you so much for joining us. This was super fun.
And
I
I
I
know.
hope
had so much fun. This is like my favorite thing.
I hope that if you're listening, that you know that you found it as interesting as we did. I think that overall, you know, it just goes to show that life just we're all meshed together and we're all here to like complement each other. And you know, voy a llorar.
Whatever you believe in. Oh my God, ella siempre llora.
Yeah,
Voy a
because
llorar
it
y
has
no
been
ves
good in
nada. Como
Scorpio.
que, like I feel que María Clara is very astróloga. You're very scientific. Y yo soy super Bible thumper.
Ajá.
I mean, let's call a spade, pero a lo último del
Yes,
día, the message is always the same. Como que we're all intertwined, we're all like,
yes,
you know, and
Una
always
cosa
seeking
no
to
resta
be
a la otra.
better. You know, a
yes,
better version of yourself and how you can serve whoever's around you in a better way and like really complement one another in whatever version that you believe in, you know, how it can
yes,
all intertwine. Y me pongo a llorar porque en verdad, like,
En
I have
verdad.
faith que la vida, que todo el mundo, like, good energies are always
so the eclipse
supersede
is gonna bring you
bad
good karmic
energies.
energy.
Yeah.
Y pues que soy una
Good.
llorona. Y sé because I'm a Capricorn que yo lloro tanto.
No, que Capricornio, que va a llorar y
No
Acuario menos.
llora, eso te
No,
iba a
that's your
decir.
Scorpio. That's your
Ah,
Scorpio moon.
it's because I have so much Scorpio in me, pero yo sí lloro. Like, I don't even know I'm crying.
Like, and literally, pero you also do it to yourself, porque estando en Christmas, cuando estuvimos en la casa de mi mamá, she's like, ¿quieres llorar? We should put a movie para que lloremos juntas. Sí, be like, ay, sí,
Pero,
vamos a
y
llorar, sí, claro.
Mi tía Nora es cáncer.
Sí.
Sí.
Imagínate. Y a la otra Piscis.
Un show ahí.
What movie was it that I put on que de verdad we started crying?
Frozen. Frozen.
Ah,
Frozen
por
2.
Dios.
Frozen 2.
You cried
And I
with
put the
Frozen
part that you
too.
cry. Yes, I remember this.
Frozen 2.